Tonight's game being brought to you by City National Bank as the Angels head out on the road. It's been a long time since the Angels were out on the road. And you know what? That's not a bad thing because we were at home for quite a bit. But tonight we kick off a three-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays under the big top as we welcome you inside Tropicana Field. In fact, Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. Along with Mark Gubiza, I'm Victor Rojas, and Mike Soja will hand the ball off to Tyler Skaggs. He's making his 20th start of the season, and Gooby, I tell you what, I don't know what else we could throw as far as accolades his way, but he's been spectacular this year.
When you think about his fastball, four-seam fastball, his curve and his change have been excellent. When you look what he's done, really, in his last 8 starts, his ERA 1.44, second only to Chris Sale as far as ERA during that stretch of 8 starts. He's been able to get ahead of the count. He's 5-2 during those stretch of 8 starts, but I think I like about him 0-1 consistently. He's been able to throw his breakable first pitch. His changeup really has been a difference maker this season also, but above all, running that four-seam fastball, upper part of the strike zone, getting a lot of swing and misses, getting a lot of quick outs, being able to get deeper into games, and giving his team an opportunity to win every start out.
Well, today is July 31st. The non-waiver trade deadline has come and gone. Plenty of moving pieces throughout Major League Baseball. The Angels certainly had a couple. We'll talk about Ian Kinsler having been traded last night when we return.
Cherokee. Embrace every new opportunity with a redesigned exterior and 31 Highway MPG. Test drive one today. By Mercury Insurance, we're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by your SoCal Mazda dealers.
We're back out at Tropicana Field. Game 1 between the Angels and the Rays just around the corner. We mentioned going to break as far as the trade deadline is concerned, and it kind of caught us off guard a little bit, although we teased it that it was a possibility that Ian Kinsler may be moved at the trade deadline. He was last night, Gooby, to the Boston Red Sox.
That's really a good pickup when you think about it for Boston defensively. He's turned 73 double plays. Did a great job between him and Andrelton Simmons as far as getting those double plays turned. 13 home runs, also 9 stolen bases. The Angels are certainly going to miss him and his leadership skills, but you have to move forward and go ahead and try to win game 1 of this 3-game set against the Rays.
Halos get 2 arms, a righty and a lefty, both assigned to AAA Salt Lake today with all the moves being done. We're just about ready for baseball here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Sit back, relax, lineups, and first pitch when we return.
Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and make that 8 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Big fly for Mike Trout, 1-0 Angels.
And there's a shot into left field. That's got some carry and will get out of here. Into the bullpen. Home run for C.J. Cron.
On all new Hyundai vehicles. See your Hyundai dealer today. By Carl's Jr., the Western Bacon Cheeseburger is calling your name, little buddy. Pick it up. And by the 2018 Subaru Forester, a whole lot to love.
Back out here in St. Petersburg, Florida, the opener of the 3-game set between the Angels and the Tampa Bay Rays. That's what they like to say here at the Big Top.
Where are we at?
We're in St. Petersburg.
Oh.
Yeah. We're playing the Tampa Bay. I'm not going to do it again.
Yeah.
That's good.
I just thought I'd give it another shot.
Halos back out on the road. It was a long homestand, which is nice, 10 games. But if you look back at the schedule, the Angels were pretty much at home the entire month of July. And now it's like, wait a second, back out on the road.
Yeah, a couple
That's right.
3-city road trips at some point here the rest of the year.
Exactly. Hey, good to have you back. Hope you enjoyed your
glad.
Cooperstown weekend.
Victor
A
was
lot of
great.
excitement.
Dontrell did a nice job. I got to hear it. One game on Friday night. We were down there in Cooperstown. We actually got to hear the broadcast where we were at Vlad's party. It was fun.
Nice.
Good times.
Nice. Yeah. Dontrell did a terrific job filling in for you, but always good to have you back in the booth, partner, as we take a look at Mike Scioscia's lineup. Game number 108 of the season. The Angels game over 554 and 53. Calhoun will lead things off, and right Ohtani's DHing. Trout in center field. Upton's in left. Pujols at first base. Fletcher at shortstop. Caleb Coward called up today. He'll get the start at second base. Jose Briseño is behind the plate. Jeffrey Marte, batting ninth, will play third base. No Andrelton Simmons, which is a shame because the Angels hope to get his .349 road batting average back in the lineup. That's second only to Jose Altuve. Big right-hander, 27-year-old from Kansas, Ryan Stanek on the mound. He is a bullpen piece. This is what the Rays have been doing for some time now.
Yeah, firm fastball. You're talking 95 to 100 miles an hour. There's a lot of fastball, about almost 62% of his pitches are fastball, though a slider and a split finger fastball. Been very good in this role starting for the Rays. 0-2 mark, but a very good ERA for Stanek as a starter, especially in that first inning. Very difficult to get good contact against him.
Take a look at the defense for the Rays. It looks like this with Smith, Kiermaier, and Gomez in the outfield from left to right. Duffy, Ademes, Robertson, and Bowers from third to first, and Perez behind the plate.
And when you're making contact, you want that ball hit out to center field. Kevin Kiermaier is excellent. So far this season, no errors in 43 starts in center field. One of the premier outfielders in all of baseball. You talk about a guy that can go back and get a baseball, but also charges, and a very good throwing arm. 3 outfield assists for Kiermaier.
Cole ready to lead things off. Mentioned Stanek. This is his 34th appearance, 16th start. There's one game against the Angels this year. Was in relief, did not retire a batter. Gave up 2 runs, including the home run to Mike Trout. First one to Cole. It's cut on and ripped to right field. A lead-off base hit on the very first pitch. And that first pitch brought to you by Chrysler of Glendora.
Love that. You got a chance to get a fastball first pitch against Stanek, ready to go. Lines it again, and that's going to create doubt in his mind. You just mentioned he didn't retire a batter last time he faced the Angels. Fastball down. Cole continues to swing the bat well, lines it in the right field. Good start for the Halos.
So Shohei Ohtani will step in now. Cole, by the way, hitting .301 in the month of July. Fastball in for a strike. Ohtani hitting .260. 13 doubles, a triple, 9 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Did not play on Sunday afternoon, although he did pinch hit in the 8th inning against Colomé and struck out. This is right up the elevator chute in the middle of the infield. Duffy, the third baseman, makes the call on the catch. That thing got up there. I'd say a rainmaker, but we're playing indoors. It's already raining outside.
Yeah, that was way up there. Now it's time for my Hyundai key for this game today for the Angels to be successful. Little Florida-Georgia line. Get your shine on, especially when you've traded away a couple of main pieces of your offense and defense in Maldonado and Kinsey. You look for your stars to shine, and Mike Trout has certainly done that here in this ballpark and against the Rays. That baseball was up forever.
John hitting .310, 29 home runs, 59 runs batted in. It's a breaking ball down and away.
Trout is 1 for 2 against Stanek with a home run.
Angels coming into play today. 4th in the West, 12.5 games back of the Houston Astros, who lost last night to the Seattle Mariners. Just 9.5 back of the second wild card spot. And a half game better than the Rays. This was fouled. 1 ball and strike. Like crowd here in St. Pete. The way it's going to play out for them as all season long, especially now with Chris Archer having been traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates earlier today. Well, they did get an interesting young position player, Tommy Pham, from the St. Louis Cardinals.
With real good power.
1-2, that would foul back. And off of Perez, the catcher.
Directly right off that hockey mask.
Perez playing in his 4th major league game, just brought over from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And they get a trade for Matt Andrews, reliever. Leadoff single for Cole. Ohtani a pop-up to the third baseman Duffy. Here's the 1-2. Straight back.
On that fastball. When you look at numbers for Trout versus a 4-seam fastball, that's one of those firm fastballs. Not great numbers, good power against though. He had a good power swing at that 4-seamer upstairs. See that .242 batting average with 12 home runs. See Yarborough a little bit later on in the game. He's got 15 home runs against those secondary pitches.
Well, I don't know how well things have worked out for the Rays, although they went on a nice little run for a little while when they changed over to the whole starting a reliever thing. Started with the Angels series, and they took 3 of 4 from the Halos at the Big A. Sergio Romo starting back-to-back games. Fastball's fouled back.
Part of the game plan throughout this entire day for the Rays against Trout is that four-seam high fastball. Stanek and Yarbrough more likely will follow him up here. Both will ride that four-seamer up top.
Big hole on the right side of the infield. Good little battle here between Trout and Stanek. He's off that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one above the zone. So just going back to that point about starting relievers. Rays are 53 and 53. Had a decent, I guess 2 games over 500 in May, but since then they've gone 13 and 14 and 12 and 12 so far in July. So kind of a flip 'em or a pick 'em, if you will. 2-2. That's a called strike 3. Locked them up. Slider. 2 outs.
Well, especially when you're trying to deal and catch up to a 97, 98 mile an hour fastball. See that reaction by Trout? He just realized that was a perfect pitch. See where the majority of these pitches are one down low, but then all of a sudden a lot of pitches upstairs, and then eventually a tight slider outside corner. Throws Trout.
So 2 outs and Calhoun at first base. Here's Justin Upton. 3-hit game on Sunday. 2 singles and a home run. 2 RBIs. Takes a strike. Upton with 262, 21 home runs now, 61 runs batted in. Team leader in the RBI category.
Early on from Stanek, you're seeing a true, what we would say back in the day, slider. It's a tight little break to his slider. A lot of times it's almost like a slur between a slider and a curveball, or even a cutter. That is a true slider he's throwing. He threw the first one to Upton, then tried to throw a fastball upstairs. Jay Up didn't go after it.
1-2. Stanek, a first-round pick, the University of Arkansas by the Rays. That was in 2013.
See that split finger grip to start with.
Big man was a starter in the minor leagues when he first signed. Born in St. Louis, raised in Stillwell, Kansas. My old neck of the woods. It's 2-2.
Hey, you know that area very well too.
Good old 159th Street, where Blue Valley High School is located. That's where he went. I don't think I could ever get my flow to grow that long.
No,
No chance.
That's pretty solid. You can give it a shot, though.
I'll do it this offseason. 2-2, and that misses. Full count. Calhoun get a head start from first base.
Tight slider once just a little bit off the plate. Perez tried to bring it back in the strike zone, but it was off that outside corner.
There goes Cole. Upstairs, almost hits him with his ball 4. So 2 on, 2 outs. Pujols coming up.
That'll get you a little nervous when it's 99 running up and in, especially after a couple tight sliders away.
99 is one thing. With run in, that's a little different.
Yeah, if it's
coming at you.
If it's a straight fastball, yeah, you can kind of track it, but you're not able to track that one. Is Justin Up is able to breathe now that he got down to first base?
It's from behind home plate. That's what it looks like coming at you.
Hey, you're tracking away.
That's why it's a good pitch. If you throw it in the strike zone, it's a great pitch because you are tracking outside part of the plate. And Albert cuts through the first pitch.
Albert's been pretty successful swinging early in the counts lately. He was guessing first pitch fastball, got a slider instead.
Two on here in the first inning. Albert drives it out toward right center field. Playable for Kiermaier. He's underneath it. The Angels will strand two ahead of the bottom of the first. Tyler Skaggs on the mound for the Angels. We're scoreless. Things off. He's in center. Duffy at third base. Robertson at second. Crone, the DH. Bowers at first base. Gomez in right field. Perez behind the plate. Adames is the shortstop, and Malik Smith rounding out that starting nine. He'll patrol left field. Tyler Skaggs on the mound. 20th start of the season. 8-6 with a 2.62 ERA.
Boy, Tyler has really thrown the ball very well. We talked about him in his opening today. My go-tos for Tyler continue this stretch he's on, in which he's gone 8 straight games of dominance, is to make sure you use that high fastball in and away throughout 93, 95 mile an hour, and then backdoor that curveball, especially when they're tracking the inside part of the plate on a four-seamer. Drop that outside corner and be successful again. 115 strikeouts in 110 innings pitched. Career high as far as strikeouts and wins already this season for Tyler Skaggs.
Kevin Kiermaier at the plate to lead things off. Center fielder takes fastball, and it's knocked down at third base by Marte. From his duff is able to throw one hopper to Albert Pujols for the first out.
Helps having that field turf like David Concepcion did back in his day in Cincinnati. Riverfront Stadium making that play. Skipped it across the turf. What a play. Hot corner for Jeffrey Marte. Tested right away. Kiermaier let that baseball travel, knocked it down. One hop throw over to Pujols.
That was a line drive that went off his glove. Fortunately, it stayed next to him. It'll find you sometimes, that baseball.
And we were talking about that a little bit before the game, especially with Tyler Skaggs. There's a lot of action at third base when he's on the mound, whether it's his changeup or high fastball, even curveball.
Back up the middle, and Skaggs jumping over it. And it's a one-out single. Man on. Take a look at the defense for the Halos. Up to Trout, Calhoun in the outfield. Marte, Fletcher on the left side. Coward, Pujols on the right. Briseño behind the plate.
Coward back up today with the Kinsler trade. First start at second base this season. 26 of them last year, in which he committed 2 errors. We know how strong that throwing arm is. See if he can continue that pace as far as turning double plays. The Angels have been very good. Give a Fletcher movement over to short. It's a little different combination up the middle for the Angels here tonight. Or trying to get that feel for his changeup, Tyler. A couple that drifted off the outside corner. Good fade action with his changeup. He's had 12 double plays turned behind him this season.
Robertson takes a strike. He's the second baseman, hitting .258. 14 doubles, 9 home runs, 32 runs batted in. and around.
That was a real good change up there. Not hold up on that swing. It was a good changeup. He was reading, thinking fastball. A good changeup instead.
Bounce it off, fought it off.
Trying to run that four-seam fastball. When you look at numbers versus Robertson this season, he's put together a pretty solid season this year. He's had a tough time on fastballs. Been very effective against a curve and a changeup. 340 batting average versus those two pitches, but this 255 versus a fastball.
Ground ball to second, should be 2. Caleb to Fletcher for 1. Over to first, double play, 1 in the books here in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we're scoreless. Proud 27th birthday shirt, courtesy of Micro Semi, while supplies last. For more information, go to angels.com.
Oh, those good old days, 27 years old.
Toei pitching change here in the second, of course, with Ryan Yarbrough taking over. 27th game, 9-5 mark at a 3.67 ERA. Stanek goes 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk.
Yeah, a little bit different as far as velocity on the fastball for Yarbrough. He's going to be 88, 93 with his fastball. Don't throw a lot of them. Don't throw a slider, cutter, and changeup.
David Fletcher hitting 298, 7 doubles, a triple, home run, 12 runs batted in. Flares this one out toward first base side into foul territory. Nice play by Bowers, keeping his eye on that one the whole time. Makes the play for the first out.
Pretty solid to go back on that. As you know, Fletcher is always going to put the ball in play with 2 strikes. Playing well off the bag, has to slide over, controls it with the bare hand and the glove, using 2 hands to catch that pop-up to make sure that doesn't pop out. It would have if he didn't have that bare hand ready. Keep it in the glove.
Caleb Coward, 1 for 8 in the big leagues this year with a double. AAA, 287 average, 6 home runs, and 45 runs batted in. Switching to second base, and fouls it off. A ball and strike.
We can see a lot of times when Caleb does that adjustment in his, where he has his hands set up. When he gets back up to the big leagues. And right now, just resting those hands there to make sure he gets through the baseball well on the shoulder of the bat, especially from the right side here.
No one has a play on. I'm surprised Bowers didn't even make an effort at it.
Yeah, I'd have run too far before. Conservative energy.
I think that's one of those where he thought that ball was going into the seats and it actually lands in front of the dugout. Plays off.
You see that a lot. Cutter in, change up away if you're a right-handed batter.
Good rip at that fastball.
Well, you always got to think in terms of being ready to hit his fastball.
Yarbrough leads the majors with 74 in the third innings as a reliever. Popped up. Robertson, the second baseman, drifts out. Two down.
Yeah, my go-tos to be successful against Yarbrough today, if you're a hitter for the Angels, as kind of talked about it a second ago, is always be ready for his fastball. Big-time numbers against his fastball this season for hitters. And then look, east to west on his cutter. He'll throw that cutter in, and then he'll try to backdoor the cutter. So you got to be ready to get that barrel of the bat out on the inside part and hit the ball the other way on the cutter on the outside part.
Jose Briseño hitting 255. This one back to the mound. Yarbrough's got it. A 1-2-3 second inning. We'll head to the bottom of the frame with no score.
Together as far as rookies being used by teams. The Rays at the top, most rookies used this season, 407. The Phillies, Marlins, and Padres behind the Rays, and then the Angels with 309 games played by rookies this season entering today, including Briseño behind the plate. Fletcher at short tonight.
TJ Crone leading things off. He's the DH. 22 home runs, 53 runs batted in. 254 batting average. Tyler's behind on the count at 2-0. staying away from him.
In that game in Anaheim, Crone hit a home run against his good buddy Tyler Skaggs. Remember, it was a changeup. He was 1 for 3. The game at home run on an all-speed pitch.
Halos kept him in check for the most part through that 4-game series, 3 for 17. With that home run you mentioned, Tyler falls behind here. 3 balls and a strike. Full count.
Good pitch there from Skaggs. He got Crone to expand the strike zone. It was a little bit off the plate, but Crone, seeing a fastball, chased it. Got a chance to try to run one of those 4-seam fastballs upstairs now.
And foul tipped into the bit. 1 down. First strikeout for Skaggs tonight.
And another swing and miss on his 4-seam fastball, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Runs that upstairs, a swing and miss just above the belt. It's been an outstanding pitch this season for Skaggs. Look at numbers versus his 4-seam fastball, the lowest average, 3rd best in baseball since June 1st, 146 batting average.
Bowers, this one out toward right field. Cole over toward the wall, and that is gone. Jake Bowers got a hanging breaking ball and deposits it into the seats in right, giving the Rays a 1-0 lead.
One of those get-over breaking balls sometimes the hitter, especially when you look at the Rays and you look at their numbers this season, they are very aggressive on the first pitch. So that get-over breaking ball or changeup is not necessarily a good one. If you're going to throw it, you better throw it and hit a spot. See it hanging right over the middle part of the plate. Stays back. Slightly out in front initially, but kept his hands back through the zone and drives that one out, lifts it out. 8th home run of the season.
Halos play from behind, of course, with Carlos Gomez now at the plate. Rays not known as a home run hitting team. That's their 100th of the season. They came into play 13th in the American League. 0-1 count on Gomez. .216 batting average. 12 doubles, 2 triples, 8 home runs, 23 RBI. Starting right fielder. Went around that. Fouled it actually. Got a piece of Briseño as well. No balls, 2 strikes. Rays have played good baseball here at home. They're 29-20 at home this year. 24-33 out on the road. They've actually fared well against the American League West. Speaking downstairs, 1-2. The Angels, of course, 1-3.
The Eagles have struggled against the East this season.
Rays have gone 2-1 against Texas. 4-3 against Houston. 3-1 against Oakland. They've struggled against Seattle though. For 7 games, they went just 1-6 against the Mariners.
It's the first home run that Skaggs has allowed in 8 starts.
2-2. Full count.
That's a good changeup. Didn't get the call though.
From 0-2 to a walk with 1 out.
For a batter known to be very aggressive at the plate. Very close to a strike, good changeup. Gets that outside part of the plate right at the corner, doesn't get the call though.
Michael Perez, the catcher, cuts through the first one. He's 6 for 10 so far. 1 extra base hit, a double. was hitting .284 at AAA this year with Arizona. 6 home runs and 29 runs batted in before being traded over. Out toward left center field. Play over for Trout. 2 down.
As Upton's movement towards Trout. Trout called him off, and Upton got out of the way. Good communication between Trout and Upton out in left center field.
To 2 outs. Willie Adames, the shortstop. 196 batting average, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, and 9 runs batted in. Shove from first base for Carlos Gomez to throw down. He's out of time.
Rays will run a lot. 64 stolen bases coming into this game. Been caught 30 times though. Tyler's been very good as far as stopping a running game this season. Pretty good jump though by Gomez. A little bit of a high throw by Bersini to get out underneath the tag to get into scoring position. Eighth stolen base of the season for Gomez.
Oh, 1 pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out home run here in the second by Jake Bowers, giving the Rays the 1-0 lead. Big lead for Gomez with 2 outs. And there's a strikeout to end the second. The one hanging breaking ball gives the Tampa Bay Rays a 1-0 lead as we head to the third. Stand and the Yankees taking on Mookie Betts and the Red Sox at a huge American League East showdown. That Mike Trout and the Angels take on Francisco Lindor and the Indians. Coverage begins at noon Pacific on FS1 or stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
Indians picked up Jonas Martin. Not a lot of action really when you think about trades, especially even today in the American League. A lot of action in the National League.
Halos here in the third at Marte, Calhoun, and Ohtani, 9-1 and 2. Chase foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Jeffrey hitting .216 now. 4 doubles, triple, 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in. To start today at third base. as the trades are concerned, we talked about in the pregame show, more quantity than quality. That's not knocking the guys, but just really outside of Machado, no big name guys. I know Chris Archer getting moved sounds like a big deal, but he hadn't done much over his last 100 games.
What, 26 and 44?
Yeah, ERA over 4.
Ryan Dozier for the Twins going over the Dodgers, just a 225 batting average, does have some home runs.
Cal remains at 0-2. I do like Scope going to the Milwaukee Brewers. He's not a free agent until after next season.
Milwaukee's been pretty solid all year. They've had some pretty good bats in the lineup, Stockis and Scope. Shaw's been having a very good season for him as well. He'll move all around the infield.
Ball and 2 strikes. Reaching toward the bouncer towards short. Low throw and nice play. At first base by Bowers. 1 down. Talk about the trades throughout baseball. Archer Dozier, Adam Duvall going from Cincinnati to Atlanta. Atlanta also picking up Kevin Gossman from the Baltimore Orioles. Wilson Ramos from Tampa Bay to Philadelphia. He's on last year of his deal, so he's a free agent as well.
And he knows that division very well. Very big member of that Washington Nationals team. In that ballpark in Philly, he's already put up all-star numbers this season. It should be a good pickup for the Phillies.
Cole jumped the very first pitch of the game against Ryan Stanek. Picked up a single, but was stranded in scoring position. Some folks have asked why is the pitcher that started the game, Stanek, no longer in the game. This is one of the things that the Rays do. They start a reliever and then bring in a starter in the second inning. Now, if the reliever has a very quick first inning, they'll go out there and trot him out there for a second inning. And then bring in the starter to eat up the middle innings. Just I guess a different way of reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, sometimes you do that as far as you go right to left, so it maybe sometimes changes your starting lineup as a visiting club.
Oh, hits one out toward Ryan Gomez is down. 2 down. Now with the Angels, anytime there's a left-hander on the mound, it's potential for some issues. Yarbrough just completely whiffed on that toss from his third baseman, Duffy. The Angels, of course, all season long have had their issues against left-handers. A .217 team batting average. Only really Trout and Simmons with averages over 300 against lefties. Everyone else in the low 200s, upper 100s. Shohei Ohtani popped out his first time up, takes a breaking ball for a strike.
Boy, a lot of room down that right field line for Shohei if he gets the ball in the air. Even more so in right center field. Key is going to be for Ohtani against left-handed pitching. Just try to stay as still as possible in that batter's box. Track a part of the plate which you could be successful with.
Right down Broadway, 0-2. He hit a pitch from Brandis Elias, the lefty from the Seattle Mariners on Saturday night. Pulled that fastball, 113, 114 miles per hour off the top of the wall in right field for a double. He can build off of that. He chases the slider. 2 down. Pardon me, that's the 3rd down. Marte was the lead-off out, so 6 up, 6 down for Yarbrough. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd, 1-0 Rays. series. Fans in attendance will receive a trading card pack courtesy of Tops while supplies last. For information, go to angels.com. 1-0 Rays. The home run by Bowers with 1 out of the second. Only scoring in this game thus far as Malik Smith leads things off 9-1-2 for Tampa Bay.
Good speed at the plate. Always got to be ready as a corner infielder to take away a potential drag bunt or push bunt.
25-year-old native of Tallahassee hitting .282, 16 doubles, 7 triples, 1 home run and 24 runs batted in as he fouls this one back just above us.
See it too often. That baseball right up by us.
The 7 triples for Malik's second to that of Yolmer Sanchez, and we just saw he of the Chicago White Sox. Two balls, 1 strike.
Notice Victor a lot more confident with his fastball this season. Pitchers aren't wanting to catch that baseball coming back from the mound, either from the third baseman or the catcher so far today.
Gloves are spring loaded tonight. 2-2 count. Kiermaier on deck. Line to left. Upton moving over, and it's over his glove. Smith will stop at second with a double to lead off this 3rd inning. I thought he was there in time, but no leap from Justin, goes over his glove.
See the angle he took. Moore started straight and then cut back. Just over his glove, a leadoff double.
Really good speed now at second base with Smith up. Kiermaier also with very good speed at the plate.
Keep an eye on Smith. He does have 18 stolen bases. Has been caught though 8 times. Bury that look back to second. And what's really, when you look at it, 2 new middle infielders, a little bit different as far as timing if you want to put a pickoff on as compared to with Andrelton Simmons and Kinsler being there the whole season. Andrelton Simmons so good as far as putting that back pick on or this plastic glove, and you got to be ready to pick that up. Long look for Skaggs to Fletcher now.
Andrelton was asked before the game as to why he wasn't in the lineup. Just said it's a day off. He gets back-to-back days off. He played on Sunday. Kiermaier lays off. Two on count. Line to right field. That's his base hit. Gets by Calhoun, goes to the wall. Kiermaier mentioned good speed. He's going to try to go to third. Throw from Caleb Cowart is dropped by Marte. I'm not sure they would have got him. But in and out of the glove. 2-0 Rays. Double triple to start this 3rd inning.
Fastball wanted to be away, drifts on the lower part of the strike zone inside the perfect spot for a left-handed hitter. And Kiermaier rockets at the right center field. Quick throw. Could have been a real close play if he's able to control the baseball. It's a firm throw from Caleb Cowart. We know how strong his arm is.
Man at third base, infield back, nobody out. We're in the 3rd inning. Duffy takes a strike. He singled up the middle. And his first at bat came at batting .300, 4 home runs, 29 RBIs. Kiermaier picks up His 4th triple, 15th run batted in.
Very difficult hitter with Duffy here because he uses the whole field very well, including hit the ball the other way. Take a look at StatCast AI powered by AWS as far as Duffy's ability to use the whole field, middle to the opposite field. He has a number of his hits that way, stays back on the baseball well.
Caleb Coward racing over, makes the catch, a terrific play. Kiermaier not close to tagging, just walks back to third base. First out of the 3rd, it's in the books.
Good range there by Caleb Coward to run that one down. Look about Duffy hitting the ball the other way. He jammed him on that one, unable to really get a good part of the bat on it towards the trademark. Pops it up. Coward, nice play.
First one, a little bit low. Robertson grounded into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play in the 1st. So 0 for 1 so far. One ball and strike. In.
Seems like he's had a lot more cut action on this fastball than normal.
I was absolutely thinking the exact same thing, especially going back to the strikeout of C.J. Cron, the one he found tipped into the glove for the 3rd strike. I thought it had a little cut action at that point as well. 2-1. Jam shot toward Fletcher is short. He'll play the one hop, give up the run, take the out at 1st. 3-0 Rays. 2 outs here in this 3rd inning.
That was a real good read by Kiermaier. He knew that ball was not going to be caught by Fletcher. As soon as it was hit, scored easily. No chance to make a play at home. It's all about the read. A lot of times as a base runner, you're going to freeze, especially when you get jammed by a hitter like that. But he sees that ball, and it's not going to be caught in the air, even though it was close to Fletcher. Good read by Kiermaier, scoring the 3rd run of the game for the Rays.
Is that the one you're on the mound as a pitcher going, why didn't you catch
Yes.
that? I mean, internally you're thinking that to yourself, right?
Yeah, because it was a perfect pitch. That's what you want to do. You want to jam a hitter, not let him get the barrel of the bat on it. That's what he did, but ends up still getting the run home.
Last thing you want in that situation is to come and make the attempt to catch that ball. You don't get there. You short hop, bobble it, run scores, guy's safe at first base, and you still have a situation with 1 out.
Yeah, you got to have trust in your offense. You're going to score some runs. Yeah, you don't want to give up that run, but you got to get it out here early.
Ball at a strike on Cron. Getting back to that cut action of the bat, that's one of those things that it just happens, right? It's difficult to rectify once you're in the game.
Part of it, though, is when you have that cut action, you're not having your normal delivery. That means you're cutting across as far as the baseball out in front. You're cutting across your body, but you want to be out there in the baseball off the fingertips. That's when you're going to be more successful with that late life on the fastball as compared to cutting around it with your arm action, and it'll cut inside. It can be effective, but you're losing a little bit on it. Trying to get him to chase another high fastball.
2-2. Outspeed. Mountains foul.
But keep in mind, in spring training, Tyler Skaggs was kind of fooling with that pitch a little bit. A cut fastball, but went away from it.
You don't see it too often. We've talked about it for a number of years about the overuse of that pitch, the over-dependency on that pitch, and how much it has affected, especially the velocity on certain guys.
You look at the guys like John Lester, who threw so many for such a long period of time with the Red Sox, and then got away from that and went back to more 2- and 4-seam fastballs.
Got him again. Thrown goes down swinging, but the Rays add 2. We'll head to the 4th inning. The Angels down 3-0.
Let's take a look at our Carl's Cam replay, what Trout has done in this ballpark in his career as far as that home run power. 5 home runs in 17 career games here at the Trop. But not only home runs, these are baseballs that hit a long, long way for Trout. Let's see if he gets that timing together at this at bat.
3-4-5 for the Halos into the 4th inning. Yarbrough's faced 6, retired all 6 with 1 strikeout. Mike went down looking in the first. Yarbrough traded from Seattle to the Rays prior to last season, along with Malik Smith for Drew Smiley. It's worked out well for the Rays. This is outside.
Tried to go back-to-back changeups. Trout very good versus a changeup. Trout in general very good numbers against the secondary pitches for Yarbrough. 295. Try to run that 4-seam fastball.
Line to left field, lead off single, if not more. Smith over to cut it off, does so. Trout keeps on running. He'll get in there safely with a double to lead off the 4th inning. 21st double of the season for Mike.
Fun to watch that when Trout turns on the afterburner. Know that Smith got a pretty good arm. He's got 3 outfield assists. Out in left field, was able to cut that one off. That fastball was not up in the strike zone, lower part of the strike zone. Gets to that baseball well, pretty good throwing position, but Trout, knowing he's going to have to turn on the afterburner, did so between first and second once he touches the base here. A little bit of a stumble, then boom, turns on the afterburner, slides in there with a double in scoring position right away. 51 extra base hits this season for Trout.
Upton walked in the 1st inning against Ryan Stanek, who got the start.
Yarbrough Yarbrough's allowed 7 stolen bases in 8 attempts, especially with lefty on the mound. You're at second base, you get a chance to get a good jump against him.
Turn that one over. 1 ball and strike.
A little bit of a high leg kick and also a longer throwing motion gives you a shot if you time them right, especially at second base. If you're Trout with 20 stolen bases on the season.
One and 2. Take it a while to get set. Up to backs out. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yarbrough with fastball, cutter, slider, changeup, and occasional curveball.
Breaks his bat, rolls one to the left side. Duffy has it, looks Trout back. And it's a very close play, but Justin is retired, unable to advance Trout. 1 out. Pretty good pitch by Yarbrough. Shattering the bat of Upton.
We'll break some bats. That cutter in. Rez setting that target up. See how much that ball cut inside. 2 baseballs off the inside corner.
Time you decide to start swinging the bat, the ball's on the corner, and all of a sudden, as you start bringing the bat through, it's on you. First one to Albert. First strike. Pujols fly ball to center field in the first inning.
Not many fastballs you're going to see from Yarbrough when you look at percentages of pitches thrown this season. 3rd lowest as far as fastball percentage, 28.5%, but 2nd highest cutter percentage, just under 35%. A lot of times when you see a 2-seam fastball away, you're going to come in with a cutter.
Chopper left side. Duffy has to go off his glove, trickles into shallow left. Trout will be waved around. Alex Smith up and firing to the plate. It's up the line and allows Pujols to take second.
I really love what Dino Evil did. He read that. He was going down the line, even though that baseball's off the glove and trickles into the outfield. He was reading that, knew it was going to be a tough throw for Smith coming in, and Trout picked up Dino Evil and scores on that play. Ends up being a base hit. Off the glove of Duffy and slowly into the outfield. Trout just getting to third, but he picks up Dino Evil down the line. Knew it was going to be a tough off-balance throw. Slides in with the first run. You always got to go back when it's hit to that side of the infield. Trout picks up Dino Evil, using that speed throughout the entire half inning for Trout, going to second on a double and scoring on that one.
Second hit for the Angels. Fletcher skying one out to right field. Carlos Gomez is there, makes the catch. 2 down. Fletcher 0 for 2. So it'll be up to Caleb Coward, who popped down his first time up. Albert, by the way, with 1,973 career runs batted now. No balls and a strike. Called up today, replacing Ian Kinsler on the roster.
how well he can play no matter where Mike Sosha puts him defensively. Just looking to be more effective, more consistent swinging the bat.
Pools at second base with 2 outs. 0-2. The off-speed pitch. Hales with the run here, the fourth. Rays on top 3-1.
Cowart right now more likely will get another pitch, maybe a little bit further off the plate, away, or cut her in.
Tough to elevate, you'd think, for Yarbrough from the angle in which he pitches from. Drops down a little bit.
Yeah, you really have to drop your elbow even more so to elevate. But he does throw exclusive four-seam fastballs as far as his fastball.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good bat working so far for Caleb. See if he can punch one, a changeup right here. If he gets it to right center field. Cutter up, another fastball up. See the telltale sign a changeup is coming.
Spoils it. Albert with the RBI single, getting the Angels on the board. Another off-speed pitch.
Hasn't had a pitch to square up yet in this at bat. He's fought off the tough pitchers' pitches. At some point, you're going to get one. Let's talk about always getting one pitch in your spot during a sequence. He's fought off some tough pitches. Hopefully, he'll get one right now.
That hit a breaking ball down and in, gets Cowart right in the leg.
Overall, real good at bat by Caleb. And a back foot breaking ball.
Quick visit by Perez, the catcher. And Jose Briseño coming up.
This is an official visit. First one.
Jose, a little cue shot back to the mound. 10 the second inning, second appearance against Yarbrough. It's a strike.
Outfielders for the Rays playing very shallow. Briseño's got good power.
Pools at second, Cowart at first. Ground ball to short. Go the short way, force out Caleb, and the Angels are done here in the fourth. They do get a run. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Halos down 3-1. When we return, Jose Mota will join us. Talk a little bit about his and Mark Kubica's trip to Cooperstown this past weekend.
que me metieron en el Salón de la Fama con este grupo que jugué con algunos y lo vi jugar.
I know I don't speak a whole lot, but let me tell you that I am so happy to be part of this group because some of them I saw and watched play, and I witnessed it, but also I got to play against a lot of them, and it means a lot to me.
That was on Sunday, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Vladimir Guerrero's speech, who did everybody a solid by keeping it under 4 minutes, I believe it was. So we start at the bottom of the fourth, 3-1. Tampa Bay Rays. Jose Mota joining us here in the booth. And overall, I would imagine it's just a great experience for both of you guys. You got a chance to experience it. You got to be on stage and serve as Vladdy's translator.
It's something I'll never forget. Baseball royalty. I'm like, what am I doing here with my 40 big league at bats, you know? My batting average. But those guys welcomed me with open arms. And to me, the most important thing was to see the Angels represented, to see what the Angels did for Vladdy and for his family throughout this whole celebration, and also to see those flags of the Dominican Republic and how well attended the event was. Second largest attendance they've had there. And certainly it was pretty proud of that.
Yeah, wasn't that cool though? All the Dominican Republic flags. It was perfect. It was a beautiful day, sunny, and to see that around, the excitement, the Angel fans too, walking around, finally being represented in the Hall of Fame. And hey, by the way, you're on the stage with all those Hall of Famers. That was pretty cool.
I was floating.
Nobody could ever take that away from you. You were in Cooperstown on stage with Hall of Fame.
Here's the funny thing about that. After the ceremony, some of the players said, well, you're part of history, so you're coming back every year. I'm like, I'm the infiltrator here. I just happen to get invited. But they're like, no, you were on stage. You need to be coming back every year. But tell you, man, what's something else that I'll never forget, and for Vladdy, again, for his family, for the Angels.
How about his smile throughout from Friday through, and then you were even with him yesterday. The smile on his face, and it was pretty taxing when you think about how much he had to do, and you with him. But I'll tell you what, he was it was so much fun just to be around his entire family, his sons. It was amazing.
The whole process was months, and Vladdy honestly did not decide about that hat until late. You know, Montreal played a big part in his career and had a big tug, and he kept saying, but I won with the Angels. That's where I knew about, you know, playing meaningful games in September, and just how the Hall of Famers received him when he walked into that lobby. Vladdy, you're here, you belong here, and let's talk about hitting now.
Right.
You know, and they all picked each other's head and thinking about how they got there and the journey. And Victor, one thing that really came to mind was they all had a story about tough love in baseball. Tough love in baseball, which, where is it? That one coach is going to, you know, put you in a corner and say, by the way, if you don't do it right or you're not going to make it. But all of them had a story about somebody in their careers, not just saying everything's fine, you know, somebody showing some tough love, making them better players.
Right.
And those conversations, especially when we were hanging out that Saturday night where all the Hall of Famers were sitting in there and we're moving back and forth, and you're right, the conversations about Vlad, they're looking up, you see Kirby Puckett's placard saying, that's very similar because you couldn't do anything anywhere near the strike zone or even out of the strike zone if it wasn't going to be hit hard.
Did I explain the Saturday night gala well enough for you? Did I tee it up for you? Because I mean, how cool is that? Because I told you guys, it's
I couldn't breathe.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
did it live up to the expectation? I hope I didn't build it up too much.
Beyond anything I could imagine. We were walking around with smiles. Mark Langston, Tim Salmon, and Jose and I, we were sitting there. Our smiles on our face. We just couldn't. I couldn't believe where we were doing that day.
And then on Friday night, the one before that from Jane Forbes Gala, it's on something that you just would not. You can't describe it all because you see them talking and visiting each other at the tables. But there's no hurry in taking pictures or autographs. It's all respectful all the way around. But you know, the awe from each single one of them is there.
Gomez flaring a single out to right field with one out here in the fourth inning. He's 1 for 1 with a walk. Took some pictures. I'd imagine you chronicled the entire weekend.
Here's to me my favorite picture. This is on the way to induction ceremony. Juan Marichal, first Dominican. Here's Vladdy being called into the stage for the first time. This is his view with 53,000+ and what he was looking at when he was speaking. And then, of course, the A to us means the world to have that A finally in Cooperstown.
And how was he when you saw him Sunday when he's going out there on the stage? I mean, I can imagine it'd be difficult even to breathe at that point.
I was more nervous than he was. Here's what got
me. Did a good job, too, by the way.
Jim Tomey's daughter sang the national anthem.
How cool was that?
By the way, how did he survive? I was crying listening to that.
And he we're sharing the same mic. They're like, Jose, when she's done, she's going to come here.
Gomez on the moves. This one ripped into the corner. Carlos will come around to score easily. Perez will get the second and stop there. RBI doubled. Rays get that run back. It's 4-1.
But we have an observation about this ball game and something we talked about through the years with Tyler Skaggs. Notice how comfortable lefties feel against him here today.
And that's something he's really done a good job as far as negating this season. It's a 206 batting average, but some pretty good swings against lefties. They're looking in a zone. And that's what we keep talking about for Shohei Ohtani. Look for a part of the plate to do the damage, and that's what you're seeing so far for the Rays, the lefties against Tyler.
So, Mr. Logistically, Tommy's daughter sings the anthem. And they said, Jose, she's going to come back. There's the same mic you're going to use. After that performance, I'm like, you better not forget a word that Ronnie says and mess it up.
Yeah, I thought that was about as perfect a beginning to a Hall of Fame ceremony as you can have, with Jim's daughter coming out. Obviously, tears in his eyes, welling up, and then go over and give her a hug after it was said and done. It's just perfect.
Think about the cities represented there. Montreal, San Diego. You got Cleveland and everybody else, you know, Philly with Jim Thome. But to think, then Jack Morris and Alan Trammell and their stories of perseverance, and they're pumping up Lou Whitaker throughout the whole weekend, saying, Lou, you're next. Just keep there and persevere. Just in their stories inside the room in private settings to talk about the game and approach and hitting.
Yeah, you mentioned
I'm going to write a book in just about 3 days.
You mentioned Lou Whitaker, his smile on his face. That community, it's all family. And you know, Vlad's part of that exclusive family right now, being inducted in the Hall of Fame. But Lou Whitaker, he was just smiling up, because I was talking to him for a while, and he said he was so happy for Tram. And Tram saying right back, you belong here yourself. I mean, it was a lot of fun to see all those guys. I can't imagine how much fun it is, and forever they're going to be able to sit around and have those conversations together.
And here's the thing about the speech. Vladdy did have something written down on paper, and Pedro Martinez, Juan Marichal, Ivan Rodriguez played a big role, saying, Vladdy, you know what? Speak from your heart. Whatever comes out, but don't get caught in trying to read something, because we understand, you know, you might be locked and not be able to move on. Speak from your heart. Remember what you need to say. If it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just like a Hall of Fame organizer told him, that's good enough. And that's what he did.
I think he did exactly the right thing, especially because of the whole translation. And I think once you get to writing something down on paper and you start reading and you start to get emotional about it, it's difficult to know when to stop, pause for a second, to give you time to translate it so that you get the full effect. So I totally agree with his choice to just go right off the cuff and speak from the heart.
Even at the podium, there's some Hall of Famers telling me, you need to be next to him. I'm like, listen, with all due respect to you, it's his moment, not mine. I don't want to be in those pictures. Those things last forever. And my side's going to be where nobody can see me, but I want Vladdy at least to have eye contact so he knows that he's covered. And he knew when to pause and to give me enough time to go out there and translate what he said. But I am glad it came out where when you see Vladdy and you see Hall of Fame and the podium, it's only him.
How about his family being part of that too? That was,
by the way,
their smiles on their face, like from the second we saw him on Friday all the way through Sunday.
So he had 4 or 5 houses rented, over 120 people staying there, and then another 300 came that day.
Quick visit to the mound by Charles Nagy. Second walk issued by Tyler. Clearly not as crisp as we have seen him. It's the first time he's allowed 4 runs in a game since May 28th. And he's got a couple of men on base. With Malik Smith coming up. Jose Mota joining us here in the booth, talking a little bit about the Cooperstown weekend that just was in the books. And not lost in all this, I would imagine the feeling that Artie and Carol Moreno felt with that A finally immortalized not only on Vladdy's plaque, but in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And lost in all this is Artie being named to the board of directors of the Baseball Hall of Fame. That announcement coming out over the weekend as well.
Meaningful. I mean, it stands forever, and it goes back to the A of, you know, Mr. Autry. And Mrs. Autry herself was quite proud of the moment and being part of it. But for Artie and for Carol, for the Angels organization, just an outstanding job all the way around.
Yeah, didn't they do an amazing job for that? From the Friday all the way through it, there was something to do every second of every day there. And we pretty much did everything you could imagine every second. You just wanted to be part of it, and to see Vlad and just it was amazing just talking to fans walking by how excited they were that Vlad was going in, and they were exceptionally excited about the fact he's going in as an Angel. There was a lot of Expo fans there too.
And he's quite thankful for that
Yeah.
too. Well represented, Canada.
Ground ball left side. Fletcher's only play might be to third, and he throws it wildly. Nothing Marte could do. Unfortunately, Jeffrey gloves it. Otherwise, that's a run. So bases loaded here with one out. Top of the order down. Kiermaier coming up.
Oh, it was cool too. Another inside out. Lefty staying in, looking breaking ball, staying right with it.
Second hit of the night for Smith.
And all these pitches have been either whether it's a fastball or a breakable in the inside part of the plate.
You know, in a way, I wish Marte had given more of an anchor type setup there, target for Fletcher, anticipating that play.
Jimmer has had a couple good at-bats already against Skaggs.
1 for 2, tripled his last time up. Slow breaking ball misses. Guys, movement. Angels bullpen, nobody loosening as of yet.
But there's a lot to learn. Chipper Jones, talking hitting with Chipper Jones, it's unbelievable.
You almost forget how great his numbers were. Over 300 batting average to the left side and right side.
He was telling a story about, he goes, when I faced Trevor Hoffman, I had two choices, fastball or changeup. I could only pick one pitch. But sometimes he beat me when I was looking for the changeup on fastballs and vice versa. But that's how these guys went. One pitch mistake made, you pay for it. You guess wrong, you go back and think again.
Well, Chipper did a really nice job on his speech too. Atlanta's been represented quite a bit of late down there in the Hall of Fame.
There was a question yesterday from Peter Gammons about what would you tell your 23-year-old Chipper Jones? He goes, I would smack him upside the head or doing some stupid stuff.
3 balls, 1 strike. Did you have some stuff to do yesterday as well?
Yesterday we had a roundtable out on Doubleday Field open for the fans, and Peter Gammons' moment talking about all these connections. Pedro Martinez's relationship with Vladi and Trammell, and representing San Diego and the Tigers, and Sparky Anderson, former Angels broadcaster.
A walk to Kiermaier, and it's 5-1 now.
And Pedro was about as happy as anybody seeing Vlad going in.
And not
It's all Hall of Fame.
And not forgotten, you know, Vladi was talking about Ozzy Osvaldo Virgil, the first Dominican player. Because Vladi is the first Dominican position player. But he didn't forget our pioneers, Osvaldo Virgil. And then he mentioned, well, and I might be the first position player, but what's coming next is going to be pretty special. When he talked about Beltre and David Ortiz and Albert Pujols.
Still, it's pretty cool. You're the first one, position player-wise.
Yes, sir.
Some of the highlights they were showing on the screen of some of the pitches, whether it's in the dirt or above his head, everything hit hard. And you almost forget how great Vlad's numbers were. You get caught up into the celebration of going in, but they start reading numbers.
Think about this.
Wow.
With that zone, he never struck out 100 times in a season.
Pulled towards short. Fletcher on the ball hit by Duffy. Can't come up with it. And it'll bring up Robertson with the bases loaded. It's 6-1. Lost it on the transfer.
He got thinking about going third or going second. You can see his head movement looking in 2 directions.
Yeah, once that out of the glove right away.
Skaggs might want me to leave the booth. Get me out of here.
Still 1 out. That's a base hit for Duffy, his second of the game. Picks up his 30th RBI. Robertson 0 for 2. The ball's a strike. Action down the Angels pen. It's Noe Ramirez, first man up.
So Vlad in that round table yesterday, everyone I've talked to, they said they had the most fun there because it's just basically the guys getting together and talking.
And talking about what they experienced the day before. And the question was, 50,000 people in the stands at that or what you did yesterday, they all picked, of course, the batter's box or the mound. Saying,
right.
That's where I belong.
That's the comfort zone, exactly.
Yeah.
Jack Morris, well-deserved. What a horse. What a mentality.
Yeah, every one of those guys, fierce competitors. I love that story that Chipper told about Jim Thome when they were down in the minor leagues with a bench clearing brawl, saying, hey, you done yet? Yeah, I'm done. I'm good. Because you almost forget how big Jim Thome is. I mean, he is a big man. And then you look at Vlad, you go, that's a big man also.
Vladdy Jr. was there.
Yes.
He's a big man. He's a big young man.
Yes.
Vladdy's overall numbers. You're talking about him, Gooby.
The RBIs, the home runs, 8-time Silver Slugger, 9-time All-Star, of course the MVP in 2004, but .318 career hitter.
Bouncer down the line.
You know, how do you have that high of a batting average when you swing at everything?
Ability to square the baseball.
Everything.
Better chance of making contact, better chance of getting a base hit.
He doesn't get enough credit to having been a very smart hitter. I mean, yeah, he swung, but he was smart as to what he looked for in what situations. And, you know, with the Angels, I do recall many great moments in drama late in games, but he made so much of a difference, Victor, in the middle of the game, bases loaded, to open things up, to carry the load and take something off the other guys offensively. He would not miss the big at bat, middle of the game, when it was him, game on the line, at that time.
It was funny listening to some of the conversations, how he talked about how he set up certain pitchers. Even pitchers that had great out pitches, whether it's a Zito curveball or, you know, a cutter or a fastball from Rivera. He knew exactly what to look for, sit on that pitch and not look for the other pitches that they would be accustomed to throwing.
You knew how guys tipped it because he was in right field most times watching relievers warming up.
Two-two count. Ramirez ready to go. 1 out, bases loaded. 6-1 Rays. And that's behind him. It's a wild pitch. I thought Briseño may have thought that ball hit him. And it did hit him. Okay, I was just going to say, I thought it hit him. It's probably a delayed call there.
Might be it for Tyler. This not. We talked about his fastball was cutting earlier. This is not a good feel for his pitches tonight.
That's a season high in runs allowed, 7. Surpassing the 6 he gave up against the Red Sox in his 4th start of the season.
I don't know if I did hit him or not. Mike Scioscia's going to go to the bullpen now.
So a pitching change here. Jose, I think we've exhausted everything on Cooperstown. I am envious. You did a wonderful job considering the circumstances and the situation, the emotions of the event. You were fantastic, and Gooby, I'm glad you had a chance to go as well. You, Long Langston, and the whole Angels contingent.
That was so much fun, but it has to be this had to be an absolute thrill for you. You and Vlad have been so close for forever, really, and to see your friend going in there and being on there in the stage. Great job, Jose. That was awesome.
He was comfortable, and you know what? Angels fans are happy, and being the first translator, by the way, for the Hall of Fame, and they say, you know, the next one might be. It's going to be for Ichiro. So be ready for that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Makes sense. Jose, we appreciate
you guys.
it. Stepping away for a moment. Halos down 7-1. We are in the 4th. Rays up 7-1. Runners all over the bases still. Bases loaded. 1 out. C.J. Crone facing Noe Ramirez. First pitch slider in for a strike. About as ugly a start as we've seen from Tyler Skaggs in some time. As this pitching change is brought to you by Purple Bricks. Tyler responsible for all 3 men on base.
So unusual, especially with command.
Noe's 50th appearance. Crone chases the slider 0-2. Ramirez 4-3 with a 4.91 ERA. His last outing. Ended up going 2 innings, and the second inning just didn't work out well for him.
He faced 21 batters for Skaggs. His 12 first pitch strikes.
Kiermaier third, Duffy at second, Robertson at first. That's ripped to left field on an 0-2 pitch. Kiermaier will score. Duffy gets stopped at third. It's 8-1. That was right over the heart of the plate.
Yeah, when you have a hitter to the pitch before expanding the strike zone, he wants an RBI. C.J. Crone wants to do damage, drive in runs. So you use that aggressiveness against the hitter by throwing a non-strike. Right down the heart of the plate at 90.
So now 8 runs still responsible for Duffy and Robertson. 54th RBI for Crone. And the man that led things off, Jake Bowers, back up at the plate. He hit a fly ball to left field earlier in this inning. Two balls and no strikes. That went way off the plate.
Sometimes when you make a mistake like Noe made on that 0-2 pitch, then you try to make that perfect pitch, and so far he has not got a pitch in the strike zone. When you had a chance to get someone to swing and expand and get him out the pitch, the batter before, I should say.
Letting it fly 3-0.
Two double plays that Bowers hit into this season.
Catches the wonderful count. And he got him chase. 2 down. Heck of a job by Noe to come back after falling behind 3-0.
And a borderline 3-1 pitch called the strike forced Bauer to expand his strike zone. He chased that. That was never a strike to start with. Noe able to get a big strikeout.
Center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. 1 run is in. Robertson being waved around. The throw goes to third. It's 10-1 Rays. Unfortunately, the book now closed on Tyler Skaggs, and that one of the line looks as bad as it does as the inherited runners come across to score. second hit of the inning for Gomez. Picks up a couple of RBIs. Who's been on board 3 times tonight.
You see that often. Gomez swinging at the first pitch. Swing percentage, especially swinging at the first pitch percentage, second highest. He's up there swinging in Hackett 50% of the time, a little over 50% swinging at the first pitch.
He's over at first base. Cronin at second. Michael Perez, an RBI double earlier this inning, and a fly ball to center field.
So 12 earned runs in his last 8 starts for Tyler Skaggs. 10 here tonight. Eventually thought this is the way the feel for some of his pitches. Unusual to see this from Tyler. Had a tough night tonight, considering how well he has thrown over 8 starts prior to the start tonight.
One ball, 2 strikes. A little flare down the left field line, foul. Fortunately. 10 hits tonight for the Rays already. We're at the bottom of the 4th inning. Rays have struck for 7. Got him with a breaking ball. Down goes Perez, and this inning is finally over. 10-1. Tampa Bay leads it. We head to the 5th.
past to Yarborough tonight. Sid Fernandez had that arm angle where he threw at to create that downward action on break a ball and to ride the fastball up. Very similar plane, getting swing and misses. Yarborough have been excellent coming out of the bullpen and getting these extended innings. Sid Fernandez, an excellent career himself. I remember when he first was drafted, Sid Fernandez, he was with a Dodger organization. He had a number of no-hitters in A-ball pitching down there in Vero Beach. That arm angle create that high fastball. It looks hittable, but it gets by you.
Marte fouling off the first pitch. Yeah, and the only reason we bring it up because just that little hitch enough. It's not exactly like Sid, but very close.
Yeah.
Just kind of popped in my head. Figured, see if we take a look at
especially
it.
with his fastball,
Yeah.
although Sid Fernandez had a little bit firmer as far as velocity on the fastball, but you can see dropping that elbow and riding that fastball upstairs with a four-seamer. You often wonder when you watch Sid Fernandez, how was he able to get his fastball and all his pitches by hitters so consistently?
Right. This one flared out to right. There's a base hit to start off the fifth inning for the Angels. Back to the top of the order we go with Cole coming up. 1 for 2 with a single and a fly ball to right.
That's the beauty of baseball, Victor, and it's a good call with that comparison. You're always going to find someone similar to a player, a successful player, and that's what I always felt for players, whether you're a hitter or a pitcher. The best information you can get, yeah, we know there's a lot of information out there now, is those conversations with players from the past. Invaluable.
That's out toward left center field, hit well, giving chase on it is Kiermaier near the wall, leaps up, and that's over the wall. Big fly for Cole Calhoun. A two-run shot, it's 10-3. Cole continues his hot streak, 13th of the season, and now with 39 runs batted in.
Pretty amazing what he has done, whether it's a right-handed batter or, right-handed pitcher or left-handed pitcher for Cole Calhoun. A couple hits tonight. It's our top-tier play brought to you by Arco. Stay back on that pitch away, was looking to hit the ball that part of the plate, was going to give that inside part to drive a ball the other way just over the wall. Always have to make sure that ball get over the wall. But Kiermaier roaming that area, but over the wall for a two-run home run. Answered right back by the offense.
And Shohei flips one out to center. Kiermaier has a play on this one. 2 down. Or 1 down.
Absolutely amazing, the turnaround for Cole Calhoun. Where he is as far as RBIs in the month of July, home runs, what he's done in his second half the season after the All-Star game. He's just driven the ball so well, so confident, so comfortable in the batter's box.
Best thing that ever could have happened to him. DL stint. Get away,
Clear the mind.
decompress. Yeah. Trout 1 for 2, a double and a strikeout looking.
Cole Calhoun coming in as far as one of the leaders as far as RBI in the month of July in the American League at 22, give him now 24. Also with his 10th home run in July. Last time up, Yarborough tried to run a fastball up with 2 strikes on Trout because the fastball was down middle in, and he lined it to left field for a double. Then she scored the first run of the game for the Angels. Pitch inside here.
This location.
That's the one thing. If you're not overpowering, you have to, if you're going inside against Trout, you got to go in there with conviction. Missed last time, missed this time going inside. Even with his cutter, and it's been very effective, and a high percentage of his pitches are cutters.
Pitch tailing away from him. 2 down.
That wasn't even located where he wanted
No.
to throw. That was supposed to be another one of those fastballs up and in. Ended up tailing action away. Perez setting up in and ended up tailing off the outside part of the plate. Trout unable to make contact. Pretty good indication. You can see that how that ball tailed away from him. It's not easy to do that with a 4-seam fastball. 2-seamer, yes. 4-seam, not easy. So you did something wrong mechanically to have that type of movement on it, and he got away with it.
Upton with a walk and a ground out. Shallow center field. Kiermaier broke back, now comes in. Oh, the Angels do get 2. A single and a home run by Cole Calhoun. It's 10-3 Rays. We head to the bottom of the 5th. On the Athletics at 6:07 p.m. and stay after for a post-game screening of an exclusive Mike Trout documentary. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details.
It's hard to believe it's August tomorrow. We're just talking with that with Brian Anderson, who does the color analyst job here for the Rays. It's crazy how quickly this season is going by now. A lot of trades, a lot of movement as far as teams here the last day. Try to add on for a postseason run.
Yep. Ray shortstop, strikeout and a walk. Leadoff single, if not more. Upton to cut it off. Now this stops at first base.
See the reaction by Noe Ramirez. He's missed some spots of late. And when you're not overpowering, you got to make sure you hit your spots. That's a break ball that drifts right in the heart of the plate. Reaction by Noe.
Malik Smith on board twice with a double, single, 2 runs scored. Pitch down and in.
Well, when you look at some of the moves some teams made, you have the Braves, the Phillies making moves, Brewers. We haven't seen that in a while where they feel they have a shot now.
Yep.
Especially when you look at the National League. It doesn't seem like there's any team that's a lock. Some teams are playing well, Cubs, the Dodgers. But everywhere else, the Diamondbacks really helped themselves out with a couple deals.
Brett Ziegler coming over. Jake Diekman from the Texas Rangers as well.
Escobar is a great pickup they made a few days ago, too. He's an outstanding hitter.
Yeah, you got 4 teams in the National League West within 5.5 games at the start of the day. National League Central, you got 4 teams within 7.5 games. And then in the East, you still got the Nationals at 5.5. Atlanta half game back, and of course Phillies leading the way.
All that conversation, that's pretty good. Break the ball there to get a swing. How about the Nationals maybe thinking about trading Bryce Harper? And then you look at the Nationals today, they're beating the Mets 16-0. And you still feel the Nationals have a run in them. Their offense is just too good not to have one. And you have 2 teams ahead of the Nationals that a lot of people didn't expect them to put it together this season like they have. Noe Ramirez slipped on the follow-through in that delivery. Trying to drive towards the plate and then stumbles on his delivery. That's always scary too. When you let that baseball go and you're stumbling, you're going straight forward and a batter swinging it, it's back up the middle. It gets real scary.
Wow pitch. Man in scoring position now.
Yankees added a couple starters in the last few days. In Lance Lynn, Jay Happ. 6 back of the Red Sox, though, the Yankees.
$19-0 now, Nationals leading. Ground ball. Second base, Caleb's got it. 1 down.
We see Chris Sale going on the DL.
Yeah,
The Red Sox.
What a season he's having.
Oh. Well, the Astros have lost coming into tonight 5 in a row. And Carlos Correa is getting close to a rehab assignment for the Astros.
Kiermaier takes downstairs. Apparently Jay Happ of the Yankees has the mouth, hand, foot disease that Syndergaard got. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Hand, foot, mouth disease. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-1. Is that going to be the new blister of 2018? How rare is that? Kiermaier hits for the second. Caleb knocks it down, plays to first. 2 down. Runner remains at third base.
It's also known you have the confidence in an arm strength for Coward. If he knocks that one down, he's still going to have a play at the plate.
Roberts hit a double play ball. Robertson on deck. I fill in the Duffy. Grounded out to second. I had already written in Kiermaier 4-3.
That's perfect. See if he can do it again here with another 4-3.
Ground ball.
6-3 instead.
To the left of Fletcher. That'll work. Hey, whatever.
Yes.
You keep the runner at bay at third base. We're through 5, and Rays on top, 10-3.
Toyota dealers, by City National Bank, a proud sponsor of Angels baseball, and by the 2018 Subaru Forester, a whole lot to love.
Halos down by the score of 10-3. First game back after Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown, New York. Vladimir Guerrero, first Angel in the Hall of Fame. Albert Pujols lead things off. Yarbrough still out there. This will be his 5th inning of work. Ryan Stanek got the start. 1 inning. Gave up a hit, struck out a man, and walked a man. Yarbrough's allowed 3 runs on 4 hits. Albert 1 for 2 on an RBI single in the 4th inning. Pulls this one somehow down the left field line. Goes to the wall. Alex Smith up with it. Pujols will trot into second with yet another double. A 2-hit game for Albert.
18th double this season. Run his hands inside on that cutter. That was off the plate. Still able to get the barrel of bat on that one. Anticipating that cutter. We talked about that in the past. Going east to west on a cutter, looking in, bringing that hands in and getting the barrel of the bat on it.
Albert now.
Now you're getting real good as far as the all-time list as far as doubles. Is 3 behind Honus Wagner all-time. Now with 637.
One pitch. 2-1. Fletcher's 0 for 2, getting started short tonight.
Patient at bat here for Fletcher against Yarbrough. He's trying to get him to chase that changeup away. Has not done so.
left side toward the hole and off the glove. Pujols now going to try to get to third base. No throw. Isn't standing up gingerly.
Yeah, but reading that, there was no one necessarily going to be at the base at that moment. And you don't want to make it one of those throws, especially to third base, knowing you might not be able to get him and allow Fletcher to get into scoring position himself. Just off the glove and into the outfield. Still pretty quick, this infield. Adjustment there for Fletcher, picking up a hit.
Coward swinging a miss on the fastball. 0 for 1, popped down his first time up, walked. Boy, actually hit by a pitch on that one. Breaking ball down and in, got him in the back foot. The ball's 2 strikes.
Fell behind quickly. His last at bat before eventually fouling off a lot of good pitches, then got hit with that breaking ball in the back foot.
One or two. Pujols standing at third base. Fletcher at first. 10-3 Rays. Top of the 6th inning. 7-1 pitches for Yarbrough. So down to center field. Kiermaier is there. Makes the catch. Albert tagging to stay there. Hill comes home. 1 down.
Pretty good decision right there for Albert and able not to challenge, especially with no outs. With 3 outfield assists, got behind that baseball very well. It was going to be difficult for Albert to score on that one. Pretty good one-hop throw to the plate. Albert thought about trying to score.
Zenyo breaks his bat. Line to left field. Pujols will score, and it's 10-4 Rays. Zenyo with his 5th RBI of the season. 2 on, 1 out.
Might get into the kitchen, but still strong enough to get a base hit and an RBI out of it for Jose Briseño. Changeup shatters the bat. It's a good stick ball bat later on.
Just nail it back together.
Yes.
And tape it up. There won't be any vibrations.
No.
Promise.
No.
Marte 1 for 2. First strike. 1-1. Base hit for Marte. A little flare out to right field in the 5th inning. Just ahead of the Calhoun home run. Calhoun and Pujols with multi-hit games. Fletcher, the base runner, at second. Briseño at first. Pitching back inside. Run away from him. Lofted foul. Play.
quickly here. Marte can get a base hit.
What? Sixers jersey. Process.
They trusted it.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's solid all season from so far.
Solid so far, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Still trusting that process?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
1-2 again. Call strike 3. Takes it. Inside part of the plate. 2 down. Cole will come up now.
Cole coming to plate. Let's take a look at our key, a drive to success. What Cole has been able to do, especially when you add in that home run here tonight. His 10th home run of the month of July. One of 7 Angels with 10 or more home runs in the month of July. Don Baylor, Reggie Jackson, Chili Davis, Jim Evans, Juan Rivera, and Mike Trout has done it twice, the only Angel to do that twice in the month of July with 10 or more home runs.
Breaking ball for strike. 3 infielders on the right side. Robertson, the second baseman, out in shallow right field. Some scrambling going on in the bullpens. The Rays will begin some action down there. Last time up, Cole, a home run out the left center field. The opposite way against the lefty. Plays off.
And he's staying away against them again. This at bat, mentioned that 5th inning home run. Pitch, fastball, middle away. 31-degree launch angle. Exit velocity a little over 102 miles per hour as Cole goes the other way. 13th home run of the season.
Good pitch, good swing, better swing. Base hit the left field, it'll bring home a run. Cole with 3 RBIs and 3 hits.
You know, a lot of times we talk about home runs, we show that a lot, but most times a home run pitch is a mistake and you hit well. This is a pretty good pitch. And he goes the other way. That had a lot of movement and he's just trying to punch that ball the other way, picks up another RBI on that single to left. 3 hits in the game for Cole. It's his 5th 3-hit game of the season. David Fletcher scores the run, 5th run. Third 3-hit game this month for Cole Calhoun.
Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, out to pay a visit. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Shohei Ohtani 0 for 3. Pop-up, strikeout, fly ball to center.
He just missed that last at bat.
Back foot keeps jumping out of the batter's box in his breaking balls, especially against the left-handed pitchers.
Be surprised if he didn't throw anything but that, a breaking ball or cutter.
Two on, 2 outs. 0-1. Chase down 1-1.
2 breaking balls to start this at bat. More than likely the last batter in Yarborough in this game. So if Shohei can get on base and get Trout an opportunity to swing, Angels only down by 5 now.
One now.
He stays in a little bit longer. That is the pitch. You're looking for that one mistake pitch. He got that mistake pitch and he missed it. Now more likely to see that bouncing breaking ball off the plate.
Briseño at second, Calhoun at first.
saw the adjustment that Cole has made, not only against right-handed batter, but especially against left-handed pitching. That's the approach Shohei has to take. If he's going to get something away, and it's been either a cutter or a slider, you have to think in terms of the other way. You had your shot. He made a mistake that second pitch. But now the thought process is the other way.
Garbrow's 1-2. Smothered by Perez.
I still would be shocked if he threw him a fastball here.
Two balls, two strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And he got him to chase that breaking ball off the plate. The Angels will leave 2 more on base. A strike for 2. Halos down 10-5 as we hit to the bottom of the 6th inning when we return. It's another edition of Goofy Tuesdays.
In the past now, what player would you most like to be a teammate with?
I would have to choose 2. So from the Latin side, I would have to say Roberto Clemente, you know, just because the special person that he was. And from the American side, obviously, you know, a man like Stan Musial, you know, I think it would be tough for me to choose one. I had to go with those 2 guys.
I appreciate that, Albert. That's awesome. That's what I was thinking myself, man. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Victor, being out there in Cooperstown, walked around, I got to play with George Brett, Eddie Murray, and I thought about it, who would I like to be teammates with? And I get a chance to talk to Juan Marichal. And I would love on the pitching side, obviously the catching side, Johnny Bench, by the way. He was there, fun to talk to, but just to think how well he framed pitches, threw out base runners, and give you a lot of run support also. But talking to Juan Marichal, that year, when Bob Gibson had that fantastic season with his ERA, what, 1.12? He won 26 games. He didn't get a single vote for the Cy Young. You win 26 games.
What have you done for me lately? Ground ball left side. No, there is. Gives up a leadoff single. It's interesting. Marte diving, but never really reaching for the baseball over at third base. So Robertson's on board. 1 for 3 game. Here comes C.J. Cron. Here's Cron, 1 for 3. CJ with the base hit. He's the first batter that Noe faced. 1 out in the 4th inning.
By the way, Victor, you just seen Mark Langston's eyes when he saw Juan Marichal and Vita Blue both growing up in the Bay Area. Speaking of even Tim Salmon, his goal was to meet Mike Schmidt while he was there, and George Brett and Mike Schmidt were by each other the whole time, and George Brett introduced him to him on Sunday, and Tim was he was out of his mind.
Payload it back to their bullpen. Looks like Camp Bedrosian's up. One to Crone.
Deep and foul.
It was funny because George Brett was sitting up there, doing Bob Costas' induction to the Hall of Fame on Saturday, and he's sitting next to Mike Schmidt. So I text George, he goes, "Oh, my favorite third baseman," because we always used to have that conversation, because growing up in Philly, Mike Schmidt being my favorite player, one of the favorite on the Phillies, and George goes, "Oh, really, you're going to go there?" I said, "No, it's you. We were teammates for 10 years. He goes, "Yeah, right." And that's what evolved into Tim Salmon saying he was such a big fan of Mike Schmidt.
Check swing. And over towards first base goes the throw, and they've got him in a little rundown. Robertson was trying to take the secondary lead on the ball in the dirt. Stayed near home plate. Briseño applies the tag. I think Briseño is completely surprised that they didn't call it a swing on C.J. Crone.
He's still waiting for that explanation of did he go or not. See if he did the check a swing here. Get the bat back. The hands went certainly in front of the plate. And there's no specific rule as far as that. It's the interpretation, but that looked like at that point it'd be easy to say he went.
Why, on those questionable ones, why not just pull a coin out and flip it? Since there is no rule on the check swing.
Do the Ken Kaiser?
Yeah. Just flip a coin, whatever happens. It's a pick 'em regardless, right? Out toward left field. Upton squeezes it, 2 down. So base is clear. And Bauer's coming up. Homered off Tyler Skaggs in the second. Fly ball to left. Strikeout since. Tyler Skaggs, 10 runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 3 1/3. One. That's out toward right. Cole racing over into the warning track area near the wall. Will make the catch. That ball stays in the yard. He hit it too high, Gooby.
Hit it too high again.
We're through 6. It's 10-5 Rays. Every moment this season, get Angels home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Halos down 5. It's 10-5 Rays. Action continuing in the bullpen for the Rays. Halos here in the 7th. Have Trout, Upton, and Pujols.
I get a Trout at the plate, the Ray tank to start the inning.
You predicting something?
Just saying.
Just saying. Saying there's a chance.
Yes. That was the pitch to hit there to right center field. He had a pretty good hack at it. Yarbrough don't throw a whole lot of fastballs. That was one of them. Four-seamer upstairs.
Giving up 5 runs. It's 5 innings of work. Travis Scott going out to straightaway center field. Kiermaier will watch this one go a long way.
Oh, that's one that's hit the.
That's a home run. It's off the ring here, the big top. It's a home run for Trout. Unfortunately, doesn't get to go all the way because it does hit that ring here. But it still counts the same. 30th home run of the season for Trout.
That ball was crushed. Not quite towards the right side, but that was going its way out of this whole place. 10-6 now. Take a look. We Make It Easy, brought to you by SoCal Toyota. Got one of those off-speed pitches, middle and over the plate and down, and he crushed that ball. Pretty good launch angle on that one. Kiermaier was looking up to see how far that would actually go.
That was going over the batter's eye. Easily.
Yes.
That's a shame on that one.
And yeah, there was a chance with Trout at the plate. 30 home runs now for Trout. Go on with his 20 stolen bases.
They're estimating that one 427 feet. Is what they're estimating that one. It's 404 to straightaway center. Pitching change. We are in the 7th inning. Halos down 4. It's 10-6 Rays. Chases Yarbrough, and Diego Castilla takes over on the mound. 23rd appearance of the season. 2-1 with a 4.32 ERA, facing Justin Upton.
By the way, you know you hit a ball well when everybody in the dugout is pointing where Trout hit that baseball.
Yep.
Castilla's fastball, another firm fastball for himself. 94-99 and a slider.
2 balls, no strike on Justin. 0 for 2 with a walk. Good one. You see a 24-year-old. First taste of big league life. AAA this year, 19 games, 0-1 with a 1.03 ERA and a whip of .835. That'll get you called up. Three and one. Albert's on deck.
Three-one slider. Up to anticipating a 3-1 fastball, especially when you're down by 4. Now might be the time we'll see a 3-2 fastball now, as he anticipates a breaking ball.
Takes a fastball for a called strike 3. 1 down.
Go back to that Mike Trout home run, how well he crushed that baseball as he tried to track it and keep an eye on it. That's unbelievable where that ball went.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just at its apex.
Yeah. I mean, Kiermaier just turned around. He was watching it.
Yeah.
See how far it would go.
Still the furthest ball here, and we talk about it every time we come here, is that Trumbo one that he hit in batting practice over that C ring in left center field where the flag is hanging. Trumbo put one there in BP. That's all power.
Yeah, that hit the flag. We're looking at how's that possible?
One ball and strike. Albert, a couple of hits, single and a double, an RBI and a run scored.
Quite a few sliders from Castillo so far.
Trout becomes or joins Willie Mays as the only players to have 3 30 home run, 20 stolen base seasons by their age 26 season.
Name next to Willie Mays. Wow.
Castillo listed at 6'3", 240 pounds. The Dominican Republic. Albert puts one out towards shallow right center. 2 down.
Speaking of Willie Mays, he's next up for Albert on the all-time home run list. Willie Mays, 660 home runs. Albert, 631.
David Fletcher, a 1-for-3 game. Singled and scored in the 6th inning.
Speaking of home runs, Hank Aaron was there in Cooperstown. That was great to see Hank.
One ball, one strike. Trying to lead off home run to start this inning. Missed it.
sink action on his fastball. Hasn't thrown a ton of them yet in his 15 pitch. A lot of sliders. His fastball has been firm, 97, 98. Fletcher's very good as far as putting the ball in play.
Full count.
That's a good take. Especially at their fastball, the pitch before lower part of the strike zone. If there was a slider, very similar plane, but he recognized that out of the strike zone. Takes it.
Caleb Coward on deck. Two, and he takes the inside pitch for ball 4. 2 out walk. Fletcher on board twice now. Caleb Coward coming up. 0 for 2. Hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. Caleb spinning around, a hit from the left side. One-oh count. This was a 3-1 game. Rays on top in the 3rd inning. Actually, top of the 4th inning when the Angels scored their 1 run. At the bottom of the 4th inning, Rays batted around and then so. 7 runs, 6 hits, knocked Tyler Skaggs out. Took a 10-1 lead, and the Angels have just chipped away since then. 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. 1 so far here in the 7th. 10-6. It's off the plate for a strike. That would have almost, if he was trying or forcing the sink on it.
2-1 count. You got to sit fastball right now for Coward.
Three and 1.
So move it down to the bullpen once again for the Rays. Another fastball right here. 3-1. That'd be in your zone if you're Caleb Coward.
Jose Alvarado getting ready. Takes a strike.
That might have been his zone. And a third of the time, also a 3-2 slider to a lefty. That pitch before, 100% of the time this season. He's throwing a fastball in that count. Changes slightly.
Fletcher takes off 3-2. He went around. No, does not. Certainly did look from up here. So the Angels have got away with one. Briseño gets called back.
Indeed, he did throw a 3-2 slider.
Back-to-back walks with 2 outs. He went around and then some. Told you, flip a coin. Francisco Arcia comes out. He's going to pinch hit for Briseño.
What a story he has been. Sitting there behind the cage watching him hit today, that timing mechanism he has with that front leg. Try to get that foot down and then through the baseball. Hey, one swing of the bat, all of a sudden you got a 1-run game.
Yep. Arcia pinch hit Sunday. Ended up striking out against Colomé. He is 5 for 8, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. 2 on, 2 outs. That's a foul.
Ready off that bench, swing at that first pitch. Jose Mota had a chance to talk to him on the pregame show. Talked about that, what he has done those first 2 games as far as first ever with 10 RBI.
Two. Back to Saturday afternoon. Casey Lawrence. 3-run shot.
Now your approach changes with 2 strikes. Took a shot at trying to get the Angels to just one back, but now you're just trying to keep the offense going here by putting this ball in play. 2 strikes.
Bounce it on. Congratulations to Joe Adell, Angels first-round pick, top prospect. Called up to Double-A, his first hit Double-A. Home run. 428 feet.
Wow. He's pretty good, don't you think?
Exit velocity 113 miles per hour.
19 years old.
See a strike sound swinging. They'll throw down to first to complete the strikeout. The Angels' threat is done here in the 7th. They get the 1 run on the Trout leadoff blast. Stretch time. Here in Tampa, the Angels still trailing.
That was a blast. Home run. For this game today, get your shine on. The star is shining. Mike Trout has certainly done that tonight. Albert Pujols himself, a couple hits. Cole Calhoun with 3 hits, but Trout's home run and a double. A couple run score for Mike Trout. 30 home runs on the season to go along with his 20 stolen bases.
Cam Bedrosian takes over on the mound. Noe Ramirez. Bedrosian's 52nd appearance of the year. 3-2 with a 3.47 ERA. 43 strikeouts and 46 plus innings. Carlos Gomez leading things off, and he'll take strike 1. Noe Ramirez this evening went 2 2/3, no runs, gave up 4 hits. So the runs that he did allow were Tyler Skaggs. Tyler ended up giving up a career high 10 tonight. 2 strikeouts for Noe, no walks. Gomez swing and a miss, and the helmet goes flying off. No chin strap on this one.
Trying to make the play on it, unable to do so.
No balls, 2 strikes now.
and no play.
On board 3 times. Fouls this one back. Walk, single, and a run scored the 4th, single, 2 RBIs in the same 4th inning. 12 men came to the plate in that 4th inning for the Rays. It's the opener of a 3-game set.
That was pretty close to a strike.
Garcia, of course, stays behind the plate as he pinch hit for Briseño.
Now, you know he's looking away on a slider. This is a time when if you wanted to, you could back that up with a fastball in.
Back to the slider.
Had a couple conversations with a number of different pitchers out there in Cooperstown, and that was, they talked about the lost art of backing up a fastball in with another fastball, and that was something they always did. Because a hitter, they always start to track away. Could be a fastball away, but they're looking on the outer half nowadays with after a fastball in.
Got him with a breaking ball. Down goes Gomez, 1 out.
Good break a ball here. Sharp break to that one. Out of the strike zone. Swing and miss for Cam.
Perez, the catcher, 1 for 3. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good night. 2 down.
Second time in a row that Perez has struck out after a double and scored a run back in that big 4th inning. Paints a fastball right on the outside corner.
Adames, the shortstop, strikeout, walk, and a single. Out to right, Cole has to go back on it and will make the catch on the track. 1, 2, 3, 7th inning for Cam Bedrosian. We head to the 8th inning. Halos down 10-6.
Rays, though, have 10 and lead it by 10-6 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Ken French back with you from the Trop, and don't forget, following this one, it's all about Angels Live, presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers, with myself and Jose Mo to bring all the highlights and interviews and show you how the Angels chipping away, trying to get back in this one, down 10-1, heading into the 5th. Cole Calhoun, his 13th homer of the season, a 2-run shot. He's got 3 hits, 3 RBI on the night. Then Mike Trout, a moonshot. I think this one is still going, his 30th of the season, but the Halos still trail it by 4 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Jeffrey Marte heading to the plate as he sent it back upstairs to the guys for the top.
Thanks a lot, Frenchie. Halos down 4. Jose Alvarado takes over on the mound for the Rays. This will be his 46th appearance. The left-hander's 1-3, 2.51 ERA. 44 strikeouts, 22 walks at 43 innings of work. He replaces Castillo, ended up working 1 inning, striking out 2, walking 2.
Another firm fastball, 95 to 100 curve and slider. That's a big fellows down in their bullpen.
Marte 1 for 3, single with a run scored in the 5th. Ball and a strike. 10 hits for the Angels, 12 for the Rays. That's pulled to third. Duffy's got it. Squared out by Jeffrey. Nothing to show for it, however. 1 down. Three-hit game for Cole with a couple of singles and a home run. 3 runs batted in.
It means when you look at the batting average now for Cole, yeah, it's 209, but where it was when he went on the disabled to where it is right now, very, very impressive. 3 RBI in the game. 3rd 3-hit game this month.
40 runs batted in on the season. Head of the count at 2 balls, no strikes. Ball pulls it foul. More and more comfortable regardless of who's on the mound. 2 of his 3 hits against Yarbrough, the lefty.
A home run to left center field, a base hit RBI to left field.
Ohtani on deck. 2-1. Tight. 3-1.
Well, he really turns over his fastball. 2-seamer. Something you don't see a lot with the Rays. They love to run that 4-seam fastball, generally upstairs.
There's a walk.
It's another good at bat for Cole. On base 4 times tonight.
4th walk issued by Rays pitchers. And a hit batter, but none of those have scored yet.
Shohei Ohtani looking for his first road home run.
Lined up the middle, base hit.
That was rocket up the middle.
So 2 on. Halos down 4. Here comes Trout.
You even have the shift on where the infielders right behind the pitcher, and he still couldn't get to that one. .101 miles per hour off the bat and lines it.
Alvarado's reaction here. Yeah. Get out of the way.
That's one of those baseballs too. Is you remember it on the mound, you react, but it's already by you. You're this thankful.
You know what scares you? I don't know if you agree with it. It's the sound.
Yeah.
You see it coming at you, but it's the sound, so you think it's coming directly at you, and it's squared up. And everything Ohtani hits when he does make contact with the baseball, it's loud.
It is loud.
Just like with Trout's up. First pitch of strike. Trout double and a home run. He's also struck out twice, 2 for 4. Sergio Romo begins to loosen now. That's what Trout did the last time up.
All speed down middle of plate. 427 foot home run, 31-degree launch angle. It's the 9th home run Trout has hit in the 7th inning or later this season.
Justin Anderson will work the bottom of the 8th inning for the Angels. 1-2 count on Trout, 2 on, 1 out. Now meeting between Perez and Alvarado.
Over another meeting the mound.
What do you got on that count? That doesn't really get enforced.
I knew it was the 4th visit. They got 2 remaining.
What's the penalty?
Remember that was a long and heavy conversation early on, but nobody's really got to that point.
Because there is no penalty. What's the umpire going to do? Tackle the player going out there?
Allow that to happen.
Right. Trout takes a called strike 3. Got a breaking ball. Goes down looking. 2 outs.
Trout is looking for something different. Got a curveball, and that is his spot.
So Upton coming up now with 2 outs, 2 on. Upton went down looking his last time up, 0 for 3 tonight. Calhoun at second, Ohtani at first.
Coming into this game has been outstanding. His last 4, 556 batting average, the home run, 5 RBI. A chance to get the Angels closer here.
Just a pitch off the plate, 1-1. 6 runs, 11 hits for the Angels. No errors, 7 men left on base. The Rays, 10 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They've stranded 4. High and deep towards center field, playable for Kiermaier. Halos get 2 on with 1 out, leave them stranded ahead of the bottom of the 8th. Rays on top.
was solid in his 1 inning with 2 strikeouts. Justin Anderson on the mound now for the Halos here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Anderson with that firm fastball, rush that fastball 95, 99. Slider, change of speed with that, and curveball.
9-1-2 coming up for the Rays. Malik Smith, Kevin Kiermaier, Matt Duffy. Malik's 2 for 3 with a single double, 2 runs scored. The Trojan with a 1-2-3 7th. Two and 0.
By the way, Victor, the Nationals lead the Mets 25-1.
Saw Jose Reyes.
Yeah, his ERA is not real good right now. 2/3 of innings, 6 earnings. It was at 67 for that last earned run.
If you don't think Major League Baseball is the imitation league, just look at the amount of position players pitching over the last month.
Yeah, when I was looking at some stuff for Daniel Robertson for the Rays today, you would think, oh, you're just going to click on there and you're going to see batting average, hitting statistics, but you also have to look at his pitching statistics now. So many position players getting work in now.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Slider from Anderson. Here's the 3-2. Up the middle of base hit to lead off this 8th inning.
Now it's time for Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Speaking of the Washington Nationals against the Mets.
Oh, there's a long drive to right.
3-run home run.
See you.
See you later. And then Zimmerman back to the table list. He gets a fastball upstairs. He hits a 2-run home run. Quite a few home runs in the game for the Nationals. 25-1. They lead the New York Mets. And they're still hitting.
25-1. It's honored to call a 30-3 game. Rangers over the Orioles.
And that was a fairly quick game, right? It was quicker
than the second game. Was the first game of a doubleheader. Yep. At Camden Yards. Smith leaning there a little bit.
Four-run lead right now. More likely he may be on the move.
Big lead for him over at first base. No balls, 2 strikes. Kiermaier 1 for 3. Tripled home run in the 3rd inning. And the 4th inning drew a bases loaded walk, so a couple of RBIs tonight.
How big that lead is already. Now working to a 13-foot lead. When you put it in perspective, Trout generally stays right around an 11-foot lead. Smith, 13-foot lead. Smith with 18 stolen bases, Trout with 20.
Pitch out. Might be the second pitch out the Angels have had all season.
Yeah. and the norm in the dugout. We don't run on pitch outs, you'll hear from the Rays. Getting close to a 14-foot lead. Leaning.
Got him this time. Picked him off. Leaning again.
Another pickoff by an Angel pitcher. The last number of seasons, the Angels at the top as far as that category. Quick footwork and a quick tag by Albert. See him leaning, trying to dive back to get that back corner of the base, but Albert quick with the tag.
2 balls, 2 strikes now. Two. Full count. Pickoff by Anderson, his first career big league pickoff. Kiermaier lifts one. Deep at third base. Tay makes the catch. 2 down. Here comes Matt Duffy. Multi-hit game for him. 2 singles. Pop up and a ground down. Halos in the 9th inning. Got Pujols, Fletcher, and Cowart 2 up. Couple of arms getting ready for the Rays. Romo has become their closer now. 12 saves. Baseball just got loose from the bullpen. It's Bill Miller barking time. Crew chief will be behind the plate tomorrow.
Even heard him on the out call. Come up in our booth on the pickoff. Big thing for Justin Anderson as he moves on in his major league career is just starting to trust your stuff. In other words, don't overthrow. Does that a lot on his breakball, even his fastball. He has a very good arm, but needs to be more consistent in the strike zone with his pitches.
Two balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes now. Now tipped. 15,858 tonight here. Paid attendance. All 10 runs the Rays put on the board against Tyler Skaggs. Full count. Robertson on deck. Pujols. Hole is there. Duffy's on board. Third hit of the game.
Just another opposite field hit for Duffy. Pretty good pitch. When you have that many opposite field hits, that's the approach you take. Let a baseball get a little bit deeper. You can read the spin of a slider and punch that ball to right field. Numbers as far as versus fastball, and then opposite field hits. 39 of them. That's the third best in Major League Baseball opposite field hits for Duffy.
Kind of old school prototypical number 2 hitter. Hit and run guy, depending on the manager. Especially if you got that opposite field swing going.
Because you can put a runner in motion, and they do run a lot. Similar when you look at David Fletcher and his approach at the plate.
0-1. One ball, one strike. You mentioned Justin kind of overthrowing sometimes. That 20 pitches, and I think that's what he needs to cut down on, is the amount of pitches per inning. And a lot of it is because he gets into deep counts.
That has an effect as far as what you're able to do the very next day if you're called upon.
Chopper back up the middle. Coward touches the bag. We'll head to the 9th inning. Pujols to lead things off for the Angels. Halos down 10-6. Chicken cook combo with toasted sourdough, new from Jack in the Box. Halos down 10-6. We're in the 9th inning. The opener of this 3-game set between the Angels and the Rays. A lot of Angel fans in attendance here, and looking for a serious comeback. Sergio Romo's on the mound. Not a save situation, but he's got 12 of them this year. 1-2 mark at a 3.69 ERA. How versatile he has been for Tampa Bay this season.
Yeah, he's been able to start and be very effective as a starter, and then come back to his normal role that he's had a lot of success in his career, closing games. A lot of sliders. So his fastball, it's just going to be 84 to 88. Slider, changeup.
First pitch in for a strike. Albert 2 for 4 with a single and a double. He's also picked up an RBI and scored a run. Pulled down the left field line, but hooks it foul. 0-2.
to get one of his Longoria home runs right down in that corner. A magical comeback season for the Rays. A short wall in left field.
Slider misses 1 and 2. Combination of 5 starts and 12 saves. Sergio Romo, unmatched by an American League pitcher since Jeremy Offeld with the Royals. 2004, 8 starts, 13 saves. Ground ball right side, 3-hit game for Albert. Just went with the pitch.
Especially when you know you need base runners. Your approach a little bit different if you just need a home run at that point to tie it up, and you need base runners. Albert picks up another hit. 4 for 9 in his career versus Romo. Stayed back, knowing a slider was coming, and then lines that ball to right field.
That 04 season for Offeld, was that the beginning of a pretty good, brilliant relief career, especially with the Giants?
When you think about it, Bumgarner got all the credit for that game 7 against Kansas City. Felt though was really effective prior to that.
David takes a strike, on board twice with a single and a walk. 26 hits combined tonight. 14 by the Rays, 12 by the Angels. Oh!
A lot of sliders away, a lot of room on that right side of the infield also for Fletcher.
Caleb Cowart on deck. Pujols leadoff single. We're in the 9th. 1-2. Just got keeps the at-bat alive.
Calhoun and Trout both with home runs this evening.
Try to hold back as long as possible.
He's just trying to punch that ball to the right side in the infield. Starts almost at his leg and then goes to the outside part of the plate and just below the strike zone.
Caleb 0 for 2. Gets this one to the right side. Robertson, Adames on to first, inning ending and game ending double plays. The Angels drop the opener against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. The final 10-6.
And it's too much to overcome that 7-run 4th inning for the Tampa Bay Rays. Now it's time for the Land Rover Above and Beyond Player of the Game. Duffy, big game today. 3 hits, 3 for 5, an RBI single. Born and raised in Long Beach. SoCal local had a big game today. Again, another base hit going the other way. Continues that swing path he has. 3 hits. Land Rover Above and Beyond Player of the Game.
Really tough outing for Tyler Skaggs tonight. One he'd like to forget. 10 runs as he takes the loss in this one. The Angels drop the opener. 10-6 the final. Stick around. Angels Live postgame with Kemp Fritch and Jose Motos coming up next.